Hi, Pastor Navi. It's Tim Hartman, and we're so glad that we could help you out with this sound system. So we're going to do a quick video today so you can go back and reference it or teach your new guys how to use it, teenagers or trainees or whoever you have. So we'll get started on how to set up your sound system. The first thing I wanted to show you how to do is to set up a speaker stand. Speaker stands are pretty simple, but there is a wrong way to do them, and we want to make sure that they're done safely. So here's one of these Gator framework speaker stands. They're not too complicated. I kind of want to do it here so you could see how they sit on the floor. Loosen the knob and pull out the feet. Now, when you undo them, don't do this. Some people set their speaker stands up that way. And you can see the struts are here, and that's not where they belong. They belong down like that. Now when your knob is loose, you want to make sure if you push on it that it's not sliding. That lets these struts on the bottom right here take all the weight of the stand. Then tighten this knob. Next, loosen the center post knob, and in the post are little holes for this pin. Figure out which hole you want it at for the height of your speaker. Place the pin in the unit and then let it sit on the collar before you tighten. That'll let the collar bear the weight of the speaker, so you won't have any problems with it sliding down or moving around. That's it. Okay, next we're going to put this speaker up on the stand. You'll notice that on the bottom of this speaker, let's get in so you can see it. On the bottom of the speaker, there's a stand hole right here. And then once you get it on, there's a clamp that helps you lock that speaker into place. That way, it doesn't move around. So, we're going to go ahead and put it on here. Make sure it sits all the way down. And then you can lock your clamp on the back, and that keeps it from turning. If your clamp's not locked, we can spin it around. On the back of this one is the mixer. There's a little slide. Just slide it this way to the right, and you can pull the mixer out of the speaker. Okay, next we'll talk about how to hook up the speakers to your mixer amplifier. In the back of one of your speakers is a panel which you can open carefully because all your cables will store inside the panel. I recommend that, let's move that up a little. I recommend that you leave this panel on here just so you know where it's gone to. So we'll turn these both around. They're both around backwards. There are two speaker cables in here, and they have a red right angle connector on them. And that's to make sure that they match up with the red input on the actual mixer. So if we zoom in here and look at that, sorry about the shaky zoom there, you can see that there are two red ports, and those are just for the speakers. You don't want to put anything else into those red ports. So we'll show you how those, just one cable goes to one side and one cable goes to another. There's a plug here on the back of this speaker. Plug it in all the way. And then this goes to the left speaker. And the same thing with the second one. This goes to the right speaker. There we go. And then there's a power cord in there as well. And this power supply is world compatible. So it will do the 220. Do 110 to 240 and 50 to 60 hertz. So you just have to have a converter plug. And we'll just plug it into power here. There we go. Now we'll talk about how to hook up the rest of the stuff. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is how to hook up some of these microphones. So we have 3 microphones here for you for singing or for the pulpit or whatever you need to use microphones for. So there are 3 of these. They're pretty easy, and you've probably done these before, but they just have a little 3-pin XLR cable, and they just hook right into the back of the microphone like so. And once you've got them clicked in, then they come around here to the front, and I'll show you where they get plugged in to the mixer on the front here. Since we didn't know what kind of piano you had, what we decided to do was to buy another microphone just for the piano. And we bought it with this special short stand that you can adjust. So what I recommend is that you take this microphone and you place it close to your piano speaker, since you're using a digital piano. And then this short stand really helps you to get it kind of low where you need to go there. I'll put it out here so you can see a little better. And then you can just adjust it however you need it and get that microphone pretty close to your piano speaker. A good rule of thumb is to take your fist and put it between the microphone and your piano speaker, and that'll give you a good distance, how far away it should be from the actual piano speaker, and that should pick up really good. And then the bonus of that is that if you're outdoors or you're doing some sort of a picnic or something else, some other sort of outreach ministry or whatever, it gives you a 4th microphone to be able to use with your sound system, since your sound system will take 4 microphones. Okay, Brother Navi, we're going to go over real quick how to hook everything up to the front of your mixer board there. Also, I have here the wireless microphone set that we're using, and we'll show you how to hook that up as well. So, put that aside for a minute. The XLR cables are not too difficult to do, so you just got to make sure that the 3 pins line up on the front here. Just plug them right in there. I'll point out here in this middle, if you're using this for something other than your regular Sunday service or whatever, that doesn't just take XLR, it also will take a 1/4-inch plug, which I'll show you what that is here. The 1/4-inch plug is like this. So the 1/4-inch plug, if you're using it for these kind of things, these kind of jacks, they're a universal jack, you just plug it right in the middle. So it'll take either the 3-pin or it'll take the 1/4-inch plug, depending on what you want to do with it there. So let's put the rest of these 3 pins in. And there we go. We have all 3 of those put in there. Next, I'm going to show you how to set up the cabling for your wireless microphone. So on the back of that guy is, there are 2 kinds of plugs. And the one we're going to be using is the 1/4-inch plug. And it's right here. Nope, there. So just take your 1/4-inch cable and plug it in to the microphone unit there. And then we're going to plug that one in right here. Now it needs to go in. There are 2 here at the top, 2 plugs. Put it in the one that says L or left. So that'll be for your wireless microphone. Then right next to that is one more jack. And so if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can use this USB port to connect the iPad or iPhone to play music. If you do not have an iPad or iPhone, you can use this USB port to charge an Android phone or whatever you have. However, if you want to play music from a laptop or an iPad or an Android phone or whatever kind of unit that has a little headphone jack like this, all you have to do is plug that in right here on the channel 7, 8. And then just plug the other end into your laptop, and that'll become, and I'll include this cable with you, brother, so you can use that. And then you can play back music or video. If you're showing a video off of a laptop or something, all that can just go right into there and you'll be good to go. Now, let me point out a couple of things. I'll come over here to my camera and we'll zoom in, and a couple of settings that we need to pay attention to. Make sure everything works properly there for you. All right. So on channel 1 here at the top near the XLR is a mic line button, and you can see when the button is up, it is at a mic level. So anytime you have a microphone plugged into these, the first two I don't think you'll be using line level, so we need to go through and make sure that they all say they're all set for microphone, and that way it'll work with your microphones. You'll notice that on channel 4 here, there is a high Z input. So brother, if you use an acoustic guitar or something that has a cable or a pickup on it, you can plug that right into those, because you'll remember that it has the 1/4 inch combination jack, and you just push in the high Z button, and you will be good to go for like an acoustic guitar or something like that. Across here are equalizer settings. There's a high cut and boost, a low cut and boost, and then there's reverb. So this does have a reverb on it. I don't know if that's something you'll want to use, but you can try it out or play with it. Sometimes it's fun for VBS, or if you just want to add a little bit of echo into your system. We'll show you how to do that in a minute. Let's pan over just a little bit and look at some of these other things that are going on here. Oh, this is important. So let me zoom out just a hair and tilt up. All by myself today, so I have to be the cameraman too. Now you remember when we put this line in for the wireless microphone, that we plugged it in to the left. And because we did that, down here is a button that says stereo mono, okay? Now, if we put it into stereo where it's out, the problem is that we would only be sending this wireless mic to the left speaker, because it sees 2 channels like a stereo. If we put it into mono mode, with the button pushed in, then this one line from the wireless mic will go out both of the speakers. So that's very important. Now you'll see over here, there's a stereo mono as well. So if you're playing music off of your phone, you'll want to make sure that that one is in stereo mode with the button out, so that it goes to both the speakers. It'll work in mono mode, but with music, it's probably in stereo. So you'll probably get a better sound that way. Okay, let's look at some of the other knobs here on the front, and some of the other inputs, outputs. Right here is an output. There are 2 right here that you could use to record your services if you wanted to. You could just hook those outputs up to some sort of recorder or a laptop or something. Let me know if you want to do that, and we can see about sending you the right adapters for that. And the way you would do that is there's a monitor volume level right here, and that sends out the whole mix from your mixer out to that. So if you wanted to record, you would be able to do that. Here is a phantom power button. While I'm at it, I'll go ahead and turn this on, actually, since we got it plugged in. Here's a phantom power button, and that is for channels 1 and 2. Right now, brother, we don't have any condenser microphones that need the voltage from the system, so you can turn that off. If it's on, it won't hurt the microphones that we sent you, but we don't really need it, so we can turn it off. In the future, if you wanted to add maybe a pulpit mic that was a condenser style microphone, you could use that. That's kind of a nice feature to have just in case. Next one down there is a reverb on button. And that just turns on the reverb so that you get echo through there. So you add as much reverb as you want on each channel, all across the front there. And then you turn the reverb button on and you'll be able to hear it through your speakers, that kind of echo. And there are different reverb styles, and you just twist this knob around to find the different styles of reverb that you're looking for. Now over here is the feedback suppressor. And that's, you can turn it off or you can turn it on. What it is, it's an automatic feedback control that helps you reduce noise or squealing that microphones will make. But a lot of that you can control already by just making sure that your microphones are behind your speakers and not in front of them. That will help a lot. And so anytime you get a microphone near a speaker, feedback can happen. So then over here is an equalizer knob. And what that has 3 settings. It is speech, music, and bass boost. And my recommendation is you keep it somewhere between speech and music there. So you have a good mix. What it does is just adds more bass and more bass and more bass. If you have too much bass, it makes it really hard for people to understand what you're saying. You're just loud and boomy. And then finally, here's the final knob on this, which is the master mix, or that's the main volume output. So if that is turned all the way down, you're not going to get anything out of the speakers, even if you have volumes turned up for different things along the mix. So as they come on, you add as much as you want for each channel here, and then it comes over here, and that's the master volume. You'll notice that there's a little tick mark there, kind of a little triangle. See if we can, right there. And that is their recommended setting for the amplifier so that you don't damage it. You can turn it up higher if your sounds are very quiet. It won't really damage it. It may just, it'll distort and then it'll sound kind of fuzzy, and that's not what you're looking for. So that's kind of a good starting point for when you're setting everything else up, is to set your volume right there. Okay, Brother Navi, we're going to look at your wireless lapel microphone, and this one is 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So it's not actually, doesn't affect your Wi-Fi, but it lives in the same spectrum range as your Wi-Fi. And the reason we bought that is because we know that this is a license-free band all over the world, so you shouldn't have any trouble with it in Fiji. The 2.4 gigahertz is definitely a plus. It's nice and clear, and you shouldn't get any dropouts or fuzzing or whatever because it is a digital system. It's some of the latest technology available. So on the back, there are several different plugs. One is for your power, of course. And the power supply for this is a world-rated power supply, so it will work on the 220 systems there in Fiji without any troubles. So we'll plug that guy in here. Then, of course, again, we talked about that we're using the 1/4 inch cable, the 1/4 inch unbalanced cable, and just plug that guy right in there and then plug it into your mixer. Now you'll notice on the back here is a volume control right here. And so what I recommend is that you set that right at about straight up and down 12 o'clock if it were a clock face. So set it at about 12 o'clock, start there and see if that gives you a good volume, and then you can turn it up and down depending on what you need. So it'll come up and it'll be on channel 1. That's its default channel. And that'll probably be fine. I'm guessing that there aren't very many other people using this system, so it shouldn't be an issue, but it'll be set up on channel 1 there. Then there's the body pack for this, and you can open up the door here, just pop it down and slide it off, and you're good to go. And there's space in there for 2 AA batteries, which we got here, so we can pop those in. So put your batteries in, and then you'll see that there's a little screwdriver right here. It's kind of a little tiny guy. And what that is for is to set your level. Now right here on the front is a little hole, and you can place the screwdriver in there and adjust your gain. So we've already set it up. It should be good to go. Let me know if you have any trouble with it and we'll help you do that, but that's the gain for the body pack. And then you can just store that little screwdriver right back on there. So it's always hidden away in there and you never get lost, which is pretty nice because little things like that tend to go missing. All right, slide the pack door back on. Then here is the lapel microphone. And it's pretty small, just clips right there on your shirt or your tie. And then there's a 4-pin connector that goes on. And so the easiest way to do these, you can't plug them in wrong. So just place the connector on there and then gently turn it until it pops in and it will lock. Now, once it's locked, it's stuck on there, but there's this little collar is a locking collar. So pull it back and it'll slide off. Just like that, because it's on a spring. Okay. Now we can turn this unit on. So on the top, move all this mic cable out of the way here. On the top is the power button, so hold it. And the green light will come on. And you can see there is the number 1. And then over here on the unit, you will see that this little light has come on that says pair, and that lets you know that this unit has paired up with the receiver. Also on the front, there's a little green light that if your volume in is too high, it will light up, letting you know that the system is peaking. Now on the top, if you press this little top button momentarily, the light goes red, as you can see. And that means that you've muted the microphone pack, so it's not sending any levels out to the sound system. So if you have it on and you have the volume knob up ahead of time for when you're preaching, you can hit the little button and mute the mic so people can't hear you talking before the sermon, and then you just hit the green light and it comes on. So there you go. Now, if there's a problem and the units don't want to pair, there's a pairing process, but it's easiest explained if you look at the manual under pairing. And that'll help you if you have a problem with it not pairing up. So that's it, Brother Navi. I hope it's a blessing to you, and I hope that the sound system is helpful, that you can use it in all kinds of ministries, and it sure was a blessing for us to be able to provide it to Liberty Baptist Church in Bawtown. I hope you have a great day.